Scarlett Johansson was accustomed to the bustling energy of New York City, where life moved at a breakneck pace. On this particular morning, she craved a moment of peace, retreating to a small, cozy cafe she had stumbled upon during one of her strolls. The cafe, Rosewood Brews, exuded a vintage charm with its mahogany counters, soft jazz playing in the background, and an intoxicating blend of coffee and baked goods that filled the air. Scarlett slipped into a quiet corner, eager to lose herself in a new novel she had been meaning to read. Her latte arrived, its frothy surface adorned with an intricate leaf pattern. She smiled at the craftsmanship, silently appreciating the little details. Behind the counter, Emma, a young barista in her early 20s, was in constant motion. Her ponytail swayed as she darted from the espresso machine to the pastry case, trying to keep up with the steady stream of customers. Despite her best efforts, small mistakes began to snowball. An order went to the wrong table, a cappuccino spilled, and a customer impatiently tapped their foot while Emma scrambled to correct a forgotten add-on. Scarlett glanced up from her book, noticing the tension building at the counter. She saw Emma's hands tremble as she handed out change, her smile faltering under the weight of disapproving stares. Then came the breaking point. An impeccably dressed man in a tailored suit stepped forward, loudly complaining about a delay in his order. "This is ridiculous," he snapped. "How hard is it to make a coffee? You shouldn't be working here if you can't handle it." The cafe went silent. Emma stammered an apology, her face flushing crimson. Scarlett felt a surge of indignation rise in her chest. The man's tone was condescending, his words cruel. She couldn't ignore it. Scarlett closed her book with deliberate calm, stood up, and walked toward the counter. "Excuse me," she said, her voice carrying an edge of authority. "Is there a reason you're being so rude?" The man turned to face her, his annoyance shifting to surprise. He recognized Scarlett instantly, but his irritation overpowered his awe. "This has nothing to do with you," he retorted. "She's incompetent. I'm just pointing it out." Scarlett raised an eyebrow. "There's a difference between pointing out a mistake and tearing someone down. You crossed that line." The man's face darkened. "I'm a paying customer. I have a right to good service." Scarlett didn't flinch. "You're also a human being, and so is she. Maybe you should start acting like it." The exchange drew murmurs from the other patrons. A young mother with a stroller nodded approvingly, while a student at a nearby table said, "She's right." The man glanced around, realizing he was losing the crowd. Muttering under his breath, he grabbed his coat and left, his coffee forgotten. Emma, still behind the counter, was near tears. Scarlett turned to her, her expression softening. "You okay?" Emma managed a shaky nod. "Thank you, I didn't know what to do." Scarlett smiled. "Don't let people like that get to you. You're doing great." The cafe buzz slowly resumed, but the atmosphere had shifted. Scarlett returned to her seat, though she couldn't help but notice the subtle changes around her. Emma's hands still shook as she served the next customer, but her smile returned, bolstered by the quiet support from Scarlett and the other patrons. The cafe manager, an older gentleman named Mr. Rivers, approached her with a kind word. "Take 5, Emma," he said gently. "You're doing just fine." Emma slipped into the back room where she splashed cold water on her face. She took a deep breath, willing herself to calm down. Meanwhile, Scarlett observed everything from her corner. A few minutes later, Emma emerged, her composure restored. She approached Scarlett's table, holding a freshly made latte. "This is on the house," she said with a timid smile. Scarlett accepted it with a warm grin. "You didn't have to do that," she replied. "I spoke up because it was the right thing to do, not for a free coffee." Emma hesitated before sitting down at Scarlett's invitation. They began to talk, and Scarlett learned that Emma was working at the cafe to support herself while attending community college. She dreamed of becoming a writer, but often doubted her abilities. Scarlett leaned forward, her voice encouraging. "You're already braver than most people. You're chasing your dreams despite the challenges, and that takes real courage. Don't let one bad moment define you." Scarlett Johansson's actions in the small cafe quickly became a topic of discussion on social media. A customer had captured the moment Scarlett stood up for barista Emma, and when the video was shared, no one expected it to go viral so rapidly. The clip, showcasing Scarlett's calm yet resolute words, carried a powerful message. Respecting everyone isn't hard. Within hours, thousands of people commented, sharing their own experiences of witnessing or enduring similar situations. Many praised Scarlett not just as a celebrity but as a role model. Some admitted to staying silent in the face of injustice, while others felt inspired by her courage to act. One of the cafe's regulars, an elderly woman, came back the next day to thank Scarlett. "It's important for someone like you to speak out on this," the woman said, her voice filled with gratitude. Scarlett smiled modestly in response. "I only did what was right," she replied. For Emma, the wave of support was deeply moving. Scarlett's words hadn't just uplifted her, they helped her uncover strength she didn't know she had. She approached her work with newfound confidence, interacting with customers more comfortably than ever before. Her co-workers also noticed the change in her demeanor. A warm and supportive atmosphere began to take root in the cafe. When Scarlett returned to Rosewood Brews a few days later, Emma greeted her with a beaming smile as soon as she walked in. Emma quickly made her way to Scarlett's table and thanked her. "What you said that day, it gave me more strength than I thought possible," Emma said. Scarlett smiled softly. "Always remember your worth," she said. "The work you do is important. You bring joy to people, and that's something they'll always appreciate." Meanwhile, the cafe had gained unexpected fame thanks to Scarlett's actions. People came not only in hopes of catching a glimpse of her, but also to support employees like Emma. Every new customer seemed to add to the cafe's vibrant energy. Scarlett was delighted not by the attention on herself, but by the recognition Emma and her colleagues were receiving. A group of Scarlett's fans even started a fundraising campaign to support the cafe employees. The money raised was used to improve working conditions, upgrade equipment, and provide resources for the staff. When Emma shared her surprise and gratitude for this outpouring of kindness with Scarlett, Scarlett simply said, "When people see something good, they embrace it, and you deserve this." The bond between Scarlett and Emma deepened during this time. Scarlett continued her regular visits to the cafe, while Emma rediscovered her passion for writing. Inspired by books Scarlett recommended, Emma's stories began to take on a new depth. Through Scarlett's unwavering support, Emma realized she was far more than just a barista. She, too, had become a source of inspiration, proving that even the smallest acts of kindness can ripple outward to create profound change. The impact of Scarlett's stand extended far beyond the cafe. The video inspired others to speak out against bullying and mistreatment in everyday situations. Social media was flooded with stories of kindness, as people shared moments when they had chosen to support others instead of staying silent. For Emma, the experience was transformative. She began volunteering at a local shelter, where she helped others navigate difficult circumstances. Her writing blossomed, fueled by the confidence Scarlett had instilled in her. Scarlett, meanwhile, saw the cafe as a reminder of the power of small actions. Every visit reinforced her belief that kindness wasn't just an abstract virtue, it was a choice people could make every day. In the end, Rosewood Brews became more than just a cafe. It was a symbol of what could happen when people stood up for one another, proving that even the smallest acts of kindness could create ripples that touched countless lives. Like the video and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.